Hello and a very happy Friday. I am Gushin Garland and you're watching Firstpost. In the next few minutes, I get you the top 40 updates from around the world, only here on Fast and Factual. Let's get started. First in, from the United States, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Donald Trump held bilateral talks in Washington, D.C. Both the leaders discussed key issues to enhance relations between India and the U.S. Trump hugged Prime Minister Modi and welcomed the Indian leader to the White House. He announced plans to sell F-35 fighter jets to India. Both leaders have aimed to double bilateral trade to $500 billion, with India agreeing to import more U.S. oil and gas. Prime Minister Narendra Modi met billionaire Elon Musk on Thursday. The duo discussed about space exploration, artificial intelligence and sustainable development. Musk also talked about emerging technologies and in entrepreneurship with PM Modi. Musk, who heads the Department of Government Efficiency under Trump's administration, was accompanied by 3 of his children. US President Donald Trump has approved the extradition of 26/11 Mumbai terror attack accused Tahawwur Rana. The decision follows a US Supreme Court ruling on January 21, which denied Rana's final legal appeal against his extradition. Trump made the announcement after a meeting with India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He also hinted at more extraditions in the future. US President Donald Trump has announced a meeting in Munich later today with officials from Moscow, Kiev and Washington. He added that Ukraine will also be a part of negotiations on ending Russia's brutal war. Announcement comes the day after Trump spoke to both the warring sides who agreed for peace talks. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has warned world leaders to not trust Putin's peace comments. This comes after Trump insisted that Russian leader wants peace. Zelensky said it was not very pleasant that Trump called Putin before speaking to him. He wants the United States to stop Putin before any negotiations. Trump has proposed talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin and Chinese leader Xi Jinping over cutting military budgets and nuclear weapons. US President has added that he would love to have Russia back in the G7. He called for all the 3 powers to start cutting their nuclear arsenals. Trump has also expressed wish to meet Putin separately in Saudi Arabia for Ukraine peace talks. Colony's President Felix Tshisekedi will skip an African Union's Security Council meeting amid an ongoing crisis in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. However, he will attend the Union's summit later in the day. This after the M23 armed group, supported by Rwandan forces, made advances in the province of Southern Kivu on Wednesday. Meanwhile, the summit will also include the election of African Union Commission's new president. The Rapid Support Forces stormed the Zamzam displacement camp in Sudan's Darfur region. The RSF men were seen celebrating and firing shots into the air. The RSF staged multiple attacks on the Zamzam camp in North Darfur, which is Sudanese army's last foothold in the region. However, the Sudanese army said the joint forces were able to push back the RSF. A fire broke out at a hotel construction site in South Korea's port city of Busan. At least 6 people were killed and over 25 sustained injuries, while around 100 people were evacuated. South Korea's acting president ordered to deploy all available personnel and equipment to extinguish the fire. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said a Russian drone attack caused significant damage to radiation shelter of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Zelensky said the Russian drone struck the shelter of the destroyed power unit, causing a fire. In climate news, a fierce winter storm blanketed Toronto in snow. The storm dumped nearly 7.8 inches of snow and pushed authorities to close the schools. With temperatures set to drop below freezing, the city is expected to endure icy conditions for the rest of the week. Cyclone Zelia is intensifying over Western Australia. The storm, now classified as a Category 5 system, is moving toward the Pilbara region. The cyclone is expected to make landfall near Port Hedland today, bringing heavy rainfall across vast 550-kilometer stretch. Authorities have shut down key ports as the region braces for impact. Torrential rains triggered deadly landslides and flooding in multiple Peruvian regions. The severe weather situation forced evacuations and destroyed several homes. The hardest hit area include Lima and Nazca, where flash floods swept away buildings and displaced families. Emergency response teams are working to provide aid, while weather authorities warn that more storms could strike in the coming days. China's coal-fired power construction hit a 10-year high in 2024. This is with 94.5 gigawatts of new projects underway. Despite its commitment to curb coal usage, the country has ramped up production amid energy security concerns. Researchers warn that this surge could stall China's transition toward cleaner energy sources. As a lawsuit against Shell unfolds in London's High Court, Oghil community leader has called on the oil giant. He wants them to address decades of environmental damage in Nigeria's Niger Delta. Thousands of affected residents are suing Shell and its subsidiary over widespread pollution, which has devastated local livelihoods. Shell, however, blames third-party sabotage and theft for most spills. On to business and tech news now. US President Donald Trump announces reciprocal tariffs on every country taxing American imports. He tasked his economics team to devise a plan for these tariffs. These new tariffs ramp up the prospects of a global trade war. The US government has reportedly started firing thousands of people across agencies. This as Trump and Elon Musk accelerate their bid to shrink federal government. According to reports, Department of Veterans Affairs fired over 1,000 employees on probation, while the US Forest Service is set to fire over 3,000 people. JioStar merges JioCinema and Disney Plus Hotstar. The new platform is called Jio Hotstar. The merger transitioned JioCinema subscribers to a premium service. The new subscription model will offer free access to most content for a limited period each month. Shoe designer Steve Madden is set to buy UK-based luxury brand Kurt Geiger. This all-cash $360 million deal was announced by the New York-based company yesterday. Kurt Geiger brand portfolio includes KG Kurt Geiger and Carvela. The transaction is expected to close in the second quarter. Japan's INEOS Holding Metals unit JX Advanced Metals wins approval to list its shares. The company's $3 billion share offering marks the country's biggest IPO in 7 years. JXAM sets tentative offer price per share at $5.64 ahead of its March 19 listing on Tokyo Stock Exchange. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway says it sold over 200,000 shares of Dow Beta. The sellout reduced the company's stake to about 45%. Berkshire Hathaway's stake in the kidney dialysis services provider is now worth $6.4 billion. This was in accordance to a regulatory filing. TikTok returns to Apple and Google app stores in the US. This as US President Donald Trump delays ban on the China-based short video app. The platform went dark briefly last month before a law banned it over national security threat. Apple reportedly aims to launch its artificial intelligence features in China in May. The report comes after Alibaba confirmed AI partnership with Apple. Apple's AI features are its key selling points, but the tech giant wasn't able to rule out AI tools in China due to regulations requiring local partnership. Shares of Sony jumped by 9%. This after tech and entertainment conglomerate reported strong results in games and music division. Shares of Sony's gaming unit jumped 37% over sales of 9.4 million units of PlayStation 5. Sony also announced intent to buy back 30 million shares. Palo Alto Networks raises its full-year revenue forecast. The company forecasts its revenue between $9.14 and $9.19 billion. Earlier, it was projected between $9.12 and $9.17 billion. The rise is attributed to potential surge in demand for the company's cybersecurity solutions for rising online threats. Moving to sports, we start with cricket. Indian Premier League franchise Bengaluru have named Indian batter Rajat Patidar as their next captain for the 2025 season. There were speculations on former captain Virat Kohli taking the role again. Patidar replaces Faf du Plessis, who parted ways with the team last year. Three Pakistani cricketers were fined for misconduct by International Cricket Council. They are Shaheen Afridi, Saud Shakil and Kamran Ghulam. The incidents occurred during Pakistan's ODI match against South Africa on Wednesday. Afridi was seen blocking an opponent when he was running between the wickets. He was charged 25% of his match fee for the act. New Zealand's Rachin Ravichandra is back at training after he was hit by the face by a ball. But the all-rounder still has medical protocols to pass. The incident happened during a Pakistan versus New Zealand match. Ravindra was blinded by the floodlights when he was attempting a catch. The ball came and hit his forehead, causing him to bleed. In football, Cristiano Ronaldo topped the list of highest-paid athletes of the world. The Portuguese ace earned a total income of $260 million last year. This includes his salary, prize money and endorsements. The top 100 athletes were majorly from football, basketball and boxing. However, in a disappointing reality, no women made it to the list of world's highest paid athletes. The top earning female athlete in 2024 was US tennis star Coco Gauff. She made a little over $30 million last year. At the 100th spot was American footballer Daniel Jones with a total income of $37.5 million. In the National Football League, or the NFL, reports say the Kansas City Chiefs have given Travis Kelce a deadline to decide if he wants to retire. The club wants him to tell them by March 14 if he is retiring. The American footballer considered leaving the game after his latest Super Bowl loss. The 35-year-old Kelce has been a crucial player for the NFL franchise. Logan Paul has challenged Argentine football star Lionel Messi for a fight. The rivalry stems from a row over Paul's energy drink. Both their brands, Prime Hydration and Mass Plus, are embroiled in a legal battle. Paul accuses Messi's brand of trademark infringement. He said he might drop the lawsuit if Messi agrees to fight him. In tennis, women's world number 2 Iga Świątek has advanced to the semi-finals of the Qatar Open. She defeated Elena Rybakina 6-2, 7-5 in straight sets. Świątek will next face Jelena Ostapenko for a spot in the finals. Poland's Świątek has won the Qatar Open thrice and is vying for a 4th title. Russian top seed Daniil Medvedev started off strong at the Open 13 tournament. He has advanced to the quarterfinals. The Russian defeated French qualifier Pierre-Hugues Herbert 6-2, 6-4 in straight sets. Medvedev will next face Germany's Lennart Struff. Algerian boxer Iman Khalif has publicly stamped the International Boxing Federation. She is accusing the global sporting body of making false claims about her gender eligibility. Khalif was disqualified from the 2023 World Championship by the IBA. Despite this, the International Olympics Committee allowed her to compete in 2024 Olympics. The IBA has filed a lawsuit against the Olympics Committee for its decision. And finally, from the world of showbiz, after turning the world upside down with their acts and words, according to reports, rapper Kanye West and wife Bianca Censori have parted ways. Model Censori has also reportedly agreed for a $5 million payout. The duo have sought separate legal advice for their divorce. This comes a day after the rapper and his wife attended the Grammys. Singer Madonna announced a day before Valentine's Day that she is working on new music. She took to social media to share glimpses of her time in the recording studio. The images showed Madonna all geared up for her session, with microphone, drums and producers in the background. Alongside the post, she wrote that she is putting her heart and soul into the new music. British actress Tilda Swinton took aim at global political failure as she accepted an honorary Golden Bear Award at the Berlin Film Festival. In a fiery 15-minute speech, the Oscar winner condemned state-operated crimes and international complicity in mass violence. Without naming specific nations, she criticized world leaders who, in her words, make nice with planet wreckers and war criminals. Robert Pattinson has revealed that The Batman Part 2 will begin filming later the year. Speaking at the London premiere of Mickey 17, he kept details under the wraps, but they teased that the story is very cool and exciting. Directed by Bong Joon-ho, Mickey 17 follows Pattinson as a space worker who is repeatedly reprinted after dying on a perilous mission. And finally, Timothée Chalamet's portrayal of Bob Dylan in A Complete Unknown has struck a major box office milestone. It has surpassed $100 million globally. The film has earned $70 million in North America and $30 million internationally. Despite its strong performance, the R-rated biopic may not turn a theoretical profit. However, it now ranks among the Searchlight's top grossing releases. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us. I am Gursheen Galan and we'll see you right back here next week. Stay informed and stay tuned to Firstpost. Hello and a very warm welcome. I am Gursheen Galan and you're watching Firstpost. In the